NERDSoul.
Woo! Ha ha! Late okay at OneYoungsta holding it down, bringing that StreetGeek and NERDSoul. What is up, my people? Today, coming with another wonderful episode of That's Right. Man, we getting into thumbnails. It's all about that animation. And I am joined with the esteemed gentleman of Louisiana.
Wow.
Let me welcome you to the one and only dynamic duo of the South, Blerdish.
You know what? We are worthy of that intro.
Bruh, we have never been worthy of that intro, so I thank you greatly, NERDSoul.
I'm starting to become an egomaniac, Mark. I'm taking all my
I'm starting
praise.
to feel like I'm actually worthy of this very introduction that I am not worthy of. So thank you.
Oh boy.
I think.
But yeah, we got Keith and Mark at Blerd-ish, man. We're going to talk about a very interesting story that cropped up this week. And it seems like there's been a slight victory on the artist side, but reported from Deadline, made by Maddie, pulled by Nickelodeon amid hair love controversy. The article reads, Nickelodeon has removed its animated preschool show Made by Maddie from its schedule in response to a controversy about similarities between its characters and those in Matthew A. Cherry's Oscar-winning short Hair Love. There's a quote saying, Made by Maddie is a show we acquired several years ago from Silvergate Media, a renowned production company we have previously worked with on other series, which has nothing to do with anything. The network said, since announcing the show's premiere date this week, we have been listening closely to the commentary, criticism, and concern coming from both viewers and the members of the creative community. In other words, here's what goes down. All right. Nickelodeon said, look, yo, it won't us. You know, they made it. We just bought it. And then, you know, people got mad. So now we don't want it no more. But
So they pretty much said it. We were not the ones who smelt it, therefore we did not dealt it.
Yeah.
They bought it and they tried to flaunt it.
Yo, they sure enough did, man. And look, it's funny because they got called out. I think sometimes Black Twitter be tripping, but this time Black Twitter was on point and immediately called them out. They was like, this is Hair Love under another name. And
thank you, Black Twitter, because Black Facebook is kind of
Facebook tripping.
This
they
week.
tripping.
Black Facebook tripping. I mean, and shout out to some of our friends. I have looked at some people's opinions, and you know, I try to be fair about it. And I definitely like to hear the ladies' point of view on it because, you know, it is a show starring a little young Black girl. I think even a Black voice actor was doing the young lady's voice. However, it wasn't made by a Black person.
Right, which is all dope. I mean, it's dope that they get Black people to do the voice. But that's what they should do. Like, you shouldn't get bonus points for doing what you should do.
And like the problem here is
what you do get bonus points for is acknowledging the creator, which you didn't do. So
because Craig of the Creek isn't made by Black people, but they didn't rip off a Black artist to make it.
Yeah, they made an original coming of age story and against a imaginative fantasy adventure backdrop.
Yeah.
Actually, and they did by being creative, kind of like, if anything, it's kind of inspired by Kids Next Door as a little homage to that with woven in. But it's really about kids LARPing in the forest, you know, cosplaying, use their imagination, but with an overarching theme and stuff. So Craig of the Creek is dope, you know. And they actually probably researched some Black culture to even have, you know, not to go deep into Craig of the Creek, but I've actually did a deep dive on it this past week or so, because I got HBO Max now. So I was able to like binge a lot of it in sequential order finally. You know, like Craig's mom is a Howard. went to Howard. She had the HU on there, and like there was a big controversy. Not controversy, but it was like, you know, Howard and Hampton grads was like arguing where she went to, because a lot of the universe in Adult Swim Cartoon Network is set in Maryland, because a lot of the same creators have created like Craig of the Creek. They work with the creators of OKKO, that's now canceled, and also Steven Universe, all set in Maryland. So it is a deep, you know, not to be an animation nerd, but I am. And so they actually is a deep dive where you can talk about, where you can see where, okay, all these things touch, and they, you know, different parts from Virginia, and, you know, other parts of Maryland. So, okay, that's connective tissue. Made by Maddie.
Yeah. And made by Maddie, producer Silvergate Media has denied any connection to Hair Love, saying Silvergate Media has been working on the series for the last 5 years. Interesting number. Wahid Ali, CEO of Silvergate Media, said in a statement to media outlets, and throughout the production has taken steps to ensure a diverse production team and an appropriate voice cast lending their expertise talent. Let me break down that line for you. First, they put 5 years in there because they know that the Hair Love Kickstarter is 3 years old. So they had to put that number in there. Then on top of that, because I mean, think of it. Do we work there? Do we have the internal documents? So I mean, we can't disprove that. We know it's BS, but we can't prove it. Then said, and throughout the production has taken steps to ensure a diverse production team. What that got to do with anything? Okay, so you steal from us, and then you'll let us work for you, man. If you don't get out of my face. You want to try to hear that? Stop stealing from black creators. I'm tired of it. Tired of it.
Mike, you know I'm gonna go with that down the line.
Bro, you know, the crazy thing is, the original name of the production was Downtown Alley. I'm just gonna be honest. I don't think that was us. I don't think this character was designed as us. I think it was like they saw Hair Love and they said, "Hey, let's get this money."
Yep.
And it's not cool.
It's not cool because both of the dads look alike. Even their facial features. Look, I get it. Black folk can resemble each other, but it's just funny that frame. People are like, oh, there's no similarities. First of all,
bro,
the one thing that kind of bothers me, what people are like, okay, one is about fashion and the other is about hair. I mean, okay, I get it. I'm a dude. Maybe I don't quite get the vast difference, but fashion, hair, similar. It's if you're going to rip something off.
Of course, they had to change something. It's still a ripoff. They even stole the girl's cat. Come on, man! Like they stole the girl's cat.
Like yo,
they gave her a cat.
Guys, I'm going to be honest. When I first saw it, I thought it was like a continuation of Hair Love. That's how much.
And I had to get on Mark. I was like, oh no.
That is problematic as hell because it's like, yo.
What you just proved is what they wanted to do. Confuse, disrupt, and replace.
Right.
They wanted to get that audience.
So many of us have a problem with it.
And I'm just going to keep it. I'm going to go even further. Like, look, it might have been okay. It's a preschool thing or whatever. It might have been cute. If they didn't even, you know, I don't know. If they would have changed it up just a little bit more, nobody wouldn't have cared. But the fact of the matter
changing hair to fashion, that you're not fooling nobody.
I mean, even if you would just change the characters a little bit more.
I'm just glad that Twitter called them out because it's like black creators, black fashion designers, black artists, as far as musicians, black artists as far as illustrators, black writers are being stolen from left and right on the internet. And finally,
they have no recourse.
Yeah, have no recourse because it's like, what are you going to do? You know what I'm saying? Nickelodeon got lawyers on lawyers, B. So what you going to do? But finally,
you know who else got lawyers on lawyers? But you know who else got lawyers on lawyers, Mike? HBO.
Yeah, that's true. And I'm pretty sure this joint hit because when it was on Twitter, Matthew Cherry, he was like, people reached out to him like, "Yo, man, you see this?" And
he wasn't feeling it at all.
He wasn't feeling it, but he wasn't really talking a lot about it, which probably leads me to believe that he like, "Oh yeah, we already got legal stuff in motion." Because I retweeted it and just said, "Word." I was like, "Word, this is what we doing now."
These things may sometimes take longer. It didn't take no time. That shows you the power of AT&T/Warner/HBO. I mean, again, AT&T are the people who just fired everybody from your favorite DC comic and canceled their book. So you know they got power.
Like,
so,
I saw this.
Again, this...
Let me see. When did I see this? I saw this on September 1st at 8:36 p.m. That's when I retweeted and said, "Word." And then, so the original tweet was at 9:58 a.m. where somebody was like, "Hey, something looks fishy." And people were like, even the cat, and like just showing like the cat, the mom, the hair, it's like, bruh, stop it. Come on.
When I looked at the dads though, man, I was like, ain't that the same cats? Like, what is a Gucci clone of the other? Yes, I brought back the word Gucci clone.
Yo,
it should always pop up once a year. But it's just the simple fact of the matter is this: Matthew Cherry, like, people read, like, y'all, who the people who are on the fence. If you're believing into these fake production dates, I'm gonna get to the obvious thing about the source material, but just read about Matthew Cherry, y'all. Go back and read it. Look at his Oscar-winning speech. Look at the people who he brought up on that stage. Find out about him and what he wanted to do and how he achieved it and how he spoke this into existence. So, unfortunately, you don't have to get biblical, but as he said, he believed in his confidence. Unfortunately, when you're dope and you're doing dope things, if you're doing something good, the devil's always gonna try you. The devil's always gonna try to steal your joy. Literally, it's like, Viacom. Look, we ain't arguing about Viacom and AT&T/Warner. I mean, I guess I should just say AT&T, but I guess I'll use Warner instead because it's Warner. I mean, Warner's probably the people running it, but still, it's just two massive companies. And basically, like, look, we're both gonna make money off of this. One had it first, but the big thing is, one is a book, one is not a book. One is a award-winning book that got an award-winning short based on it that was placed in theaters, and that's the timeline. I don't know how long it took for that book. But if you look up the date of the book, that's probably key. Let's just say it takes 6 months to a year to make the book. And like what you said, Mike, the art for the Kickstarter was out there, so the book art probably was out there even longer, just like a preview or trailer for the book. So, so there is the source. That is where this comes from. That's what the short is based on, and that's what then HBO Max made it a point to let you know, hey, this is going to be one of our premier kid black content things. And that was a part of that major HBO release. And I don't know if it came out as fast, but the moment as HBO was rolled out, Hair Love was announced. After the Oscar was won, Hair Love was announced as an animated series coming. So, folks, there is some reason why Matthew Cherry is a little ticked off. There is a reason for this.
Some reason they ripped him off, when I sent y'all, I sent y'all a tweet. I sent y'all a link where they literally do a side by side of the two little girls.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm sorry, one has their hair pulled back. Come on, man. You ain't this is one of the worst renditions, and I'm tired of you know what I'm saying? We've been letting way too many people get away with stealing black stuff, and I'm glad that we finally jumping up. Like when old girl that made up the dance, then the white girls come behind stealing it, and they get to go to the All-Star game. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad that black people jumped up and said, ho, 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 ho. Hold up, white
girl. Look
you
at
didn't
all
make
the
this
people
name.
who've been appropriating our culture. I mean, hey, you just talked about it with Jay Kruggles out there, whatever the hell her name is.
Oh, but, Jessica
she appropriated. She appropriated all of anything black or brown.
She said she was different black. She said she was American black. She said she was North African black. She picked all kinds of black. She was going the whole gamut. She didn't do
her homework. She should have just said she was Creole and shut up and disappeared. And kept on stealing. See? And then she would have got away with it. But she got Scooby Doo out here, man. They pulled the mask back.
It's sad, but people, the real issue here is not about representation or not representation. It's you should not want someone to rip off someone from your community and then try to sell it back to you. So like you should be happy about it.
And we're not just talking about any old person. This dude start out the gate with let me just say it again, an award-winning children's book.
Yes, award-winning. Brother got an Oscar, and Nickelodeon still tried it. Yo, Nick, don't make me turn my back on Nickelodeon.
No, and they were so obvious. Like you stole something so bad, I didn't even recognize the difference between the original and what you crafted. Is like a jacked up compliment. In other words, you're great thieves, but you're not great at original content.
And the fact of the matter is, once the animation play, HBO they on fire right now. Like most shows are kind of with HBO or Netflix, a little bit on Hulu, but HBO and Netflix are where the heat is at. I mean, it's probably gonna be beautiful 2D animation that's gonna look like the short. The short. Yep. Honestly, y'all, I'm gonna be honest. I'm man enough to admit the short brought a tear to my eye. The way it was done. First of all, there was no voice. It was just the cartoons emoted, and you had to figure it out. Mm-hmm. And once you figure out what was going on, I was like, it really touched my soul. So I'm a fan of Hair Love, y'all. So
and you want to know why it touched you? Is because we were able to tell our own stories. Whenever you watch something that's black, like or supposed to be black, like the third Purge movie, and you're like, these are black people. Why do I feel disconnected? Why do I feel? You want to know why? Because that joint had mad white influence over it.
I mean, and that's so many things where it's like a ton of black people in it, but it don't connect. It's just something that just don't seem right. It don't fit. That's even with like some video games that feature us and this and that, but they don't get us right all the way. And look, just like even like Marvel made the mistake of possibly using Charlize Theron as a model for Storm, and people had to get on them about it.
I was like, I am so tired of the Europeification of Storm. Storm is not white. Stop trying to make Storm
was
white.
Missing a whole
Stop lightening her
lip.
skin. Stop trying to give her this Eurocentric hair. Stop it.
She had no lips. No lips.
Man.
She didn't have a top lip.
From the whole dark continent. Why in the heck would you think it was cool to Europeanize her?
Because they think they're going to get away with it and think what's going to sell. They made her look like dark, slightly brown luncheon meat. Instead of like filling out her cheeks a little bit of indentation and the lips. And people like, shout out to the homie Shaquita, Shaquita Smith, she was kind of mentioning it and she was getting tired of it. And she just kind of saw it, or maybe she just brought it to light. And I'm like, yeah, that's false. And people, once again, it's really messed up when people shared it because we like Storm so much. A lot of people just like heart emoji. Oh, okay, it's another game coming out. Cool, more Storm. Yeah, but it's wrong though. Like it's more Storm, but is it that? It's not even Fox X-Men Storm. It's not even a person. This is like becoming foul because what happens next if they start slipping this in through other media. When Disney gets ready to finally present us with a Storm, we're like, oh, we've been making
Oh, well, here's your racially ambiguous touch of brown storm.
I mean, why shouldn't you like this?
Said it.
We've been making this for years. So don't think like, and I'm not trying not to sound like no crazy conspiracy theorist, but I just feel like that's what they do is like, and then, or maybe it's just simply some artists are lazy who get these properties. They're not black artists. They don't know how to or care to go the extra mile, and they just whip something up and they look and see what they like because they are maybe a European centric person, and like Storm is attractive. So all I gotta do is just make a white woman with these features and make her brown. Same old struggle. Me, you, and everybody else in the Blerd community who may talk, review, or interview people who create comic books, why it always comes up. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just these things. So, and I guess just to get back to Hair Love, it's just simple fact of the matter is, I'm not going to say that a white artist can't make something dope. You know, shout out to Jack Kirby. The issue. Again, you know, making Black Panther.
Yeah,
but
the issue was stealing.
We made it dope. But look what we did, though. He created it.
Do your research.
Yeah.
Do your research. Don't give us half of a character. Don't develop us. We're very rich characters.
You know, if you're gonna do it, go all the way.
Like there's
we have an abundance of history.
Yeah, it's like we have this. I'm looking at there's a comment on one of the posts for it that says, I wasn't even thinking about Hair Love when I saw it at the time. Of course, white person. But geez, I still need to see the show before I pass judgment.
Oh my goodness.
Just like I gave RBUK a chance. But I know a lot of people will only see the negatives after this. Sad since it looks so well made. No, it's not that we'll only see the negatives. It's that we're finally, slowly but surely, getting on code. When black people will be like, this is messed up, we need to stand together and be like, this is messed up. Stop stealing stuff. Stop stealing from us. Because we ain't dealing with it.
Again, this is a brother who, if anything, if this don't show you that you can be award-winning writer, an award-winner producer for an Oscar-winning short based off of your own idea, and somebody with a loud enough or quick enough product can get it to market or close enough to market before you can steal your thunder. And let's face it, Nickelodeon got a whole animation studio, and it's Paramount, and it's Viacom. They can get you know what I'm saying? They can get animators to whip up some stuff in a month. They can probably whip up a few episodes in 2 months.
I've been in a couple of these meetings and rooms. People are trolling. You know, people are trolling Twitter. People are trolling Deviant Art. People are trolling Facebook. People are trolling places looking for that next hot thing where they can take a bit of your thunder, sprinkle some of their Nickelodeon on it, and keep rolling. And you'll be wondering hey man, that look kind of like my stuff. They'll be like, no, it is your stuff.
Real personal, real quick. I'm gonna keep it real brief, but you know where I'm about to go. In fact, I gotta thank you for this last year. You know, somebody who we ain't gonna say his name. I mean, their name not even worth mentioning, but you know, it even happens to low-level people like us at Blerdish. Because we're dope. You know, just because we ain't famous, don't mean people don't be trolling. See, people like to take ideas and names and property from those they think they can do it and thinking ain't gonna be no recourse or people ain't gonna say nothing. Last year, dude took our shirt, took our name. We put our name on our shirts all the time. I always, in fact, every time we make a podcast anniversary, it is a policy, or it's something that I do. I go try to get a new design of it and something in a parody style of something popular. Like this year, I got like a Pokemon style name made for Blerdish. We started off with like a Jack Kirby type of Marvel tribute. You know, we had other ones, but I always do something playful with the name Blerdish.
Yeah.
Old boy ripped us completely off and made a definition of it and injected his whole company name in it. I was like, okay, I see you, Playboy. You know, you on the list. Like, I will get in touch with you eventually. Just keep playing around with us. Let that be out there when we have some action to take care of. This year, a dude who is a whole comic book creator, not gonna say his name, and I don't care if you see it. I had to get on him in April. I saw the Facebook page. I'm like, yo, already been a Blerdish, bruh. There's a Blerdish page. There's a Blerdish podcast. There's a whole website that's a custom URL. Me and him had a other night. I went and saw it again on Instagram. He never deleted it off of Instagram. He got rid of the Facebook page. You can't find it. Can't find it on YouTube. And he gonna get all biggity. But it's like, look, bro, as long as you ain't used it to promote, you can call me whatever. And you know what's really funny? What's really cute what he did is like he explained to me what Blerd-ish means. And this is where I know he's flipped out. Because for one, shout out to you, Mike. We don't tweet that bad. I'm actually starting to tweet more because of stuff like this. I hate Twitter, but apparently I need to do it for these fools out here and just put my receipts out there. You use the actual hashtag that we created, Blerd-ish without the hyphen. That's the way the hashtag rolls. You click on that, there's gonna be a few people you see use it. Shout out to Mike on Twitter because Mike always added in, and you will see us anyway with the whole damn name with that. And this dude gonna tell us it's a play on Blackish and other creators use it. I know the creators who use it, fool. like I know.
Got this.
Like we know it's a play on Blackish. That's why we trademarked it.
It's like,
and regardless, I just knew he was like, when he got to that point, I'm just like, okay, this conversation is over. Like, as long as you ain't using it, I don't give a damn what you say, how you want to say it, and who you say it to. Long as you ain't profit off of it, cool. So, y'all, trademark your stuff as much as you can. Your copyrights, this and that. It's hard as an indie. It is very hard. Thank God Matthew Cherry got deep pockets with HBO. Because you think HBO gonna let their product and asset get messed up? Nope. Look how quick they pull Viacom card.
They was like, yeah, what I'm gonna need you to do is go on and stop that.
Yeah, you don't.
They're like, what I'm gonna need right now is for you to
pull that
stop.
office space on them. Yeah, we gonna need you to stop. Because if you don't, let's see who lawyers is more high powered than another. And you can say all that production you want, but there's a whole copyrighted trademark book, award-winning book out there that if he got notes and proof, they can go into some type of law court. I'm sure that adds to it no matter what the hell they talking about. And again, it was called Fashion Alley or some crap. Then they switched it to Made by Maddie. And let's just face it, I hate the name. I'm just gonna be honest with you. Maddie?
Yeah.
How y'all feel about the name?
Maddie is not the name of your I guess you could say quintessential everyday African American black girl. It's not. It's very
young
white.
Girl at that.
It's very white.
Maddie?
You know what I'm saying? We had Madeline that was short for Maddie, and it's like you up in here, you gonna first steal from an artist, and then basically just put your experiences into the story of a black family. And it's like, nah, what we gonna do is stop you right there.
It's so heinous because when you watch the story of Hair Love, man, the mom is going through cancer, the daughter is trying to do. She's reminiscing about how her mom used to do their hair together.
Yep.
She's expressing this as a young lady. Daddy don't have a clue. He had to go learn how to style it and to show it, to present his daughter to mom when they saw her after chemo. And she felt ashamed, but then she found the strength to pull off her covering to show her hair. And, she lost her hair. And then as it was going off, you saw them loving each other and her hair growing back. She came back to hell. Like, that is a beautiful story. Like, and they did it in such a short period. How can anybody get lost in the sauce with this to these two? Yeah, they're different. Like, yeah, you're right. They're not the same. They're completely not the same as in quality and the content, but they definitely, one is a ripoff. One is Dr. Pepper and one is definitely Dr. Thunder. One is Coca-Cola and one is just Family Dollar Coke. You know, it's not even check. It's the great value. Like, your check is at least still kind of cool.
It's like you got Dr. Pepper and like you got like Physician Pib or something like that. You know, like you got Physician Salt or something like that. Like, come on, man. It's like, come on.
Mark probably know this. Have you ever got like, you know, there's Family Dollar and Dollar General knockoffs. Have you ever got the Dollar Tree knockoff?
Yo,
it's terrible.
Dollar Tree is when you like you having a cookout and you like, I ain't spending that good money on all these people. You like, look, y'all about to get some Sprit, not Sprite, just Sprit.
Like, Dollar Tree will actually sell Arizona tea for some reason, but when it comes to soft drinks, garbage. Don't do it. The worst. The flattest drinks, flat as a wall, flat as a pancake.
Yo, so with that said, guys, that's it. You know, justice has been served. You know, white people tried to steal from black people once again. And they got cut off at the pass by Black Twitter. And then, you know, of course, I'm pretty sure like either Matthew or HBO's lawyers, you know, came through and was like, we're going to need you to stop right there.
Came through like the Justice League.
You know, came through and shut it down.
I mean, that's, look, we'll never know exactly, but you see Matthew Cherry ain't say much, and you see what happened, how fast it moved. All he did was give like the rate, kind of like he raised his eyebrow, like, oh, really? Okay. Y'all, I'm learning. I went through this experience. When thieves come knocking, man, talk to them a little bit. After a while, cut them off, block them. Go ahead, lay the gauntlet down. You know, thieves only get so far from biting. You know, eventually they're going to run out of talent. They're going to run out of ideas, especially if they ain't got as much money as they think they got behind them. And IP, intellectual property, is real. Money, look, Viacom, Warner, they got oodles of money, but it comes down to ownership. And that's why black people were a little upset, because ownership, man. Like, that's Matthew Cherry's idea, man. That's probably something he probably experienced and lived through. Yeah. Or he knows somebody who went through it. You know,
get that brother an indie artist, you know, you busted your butt to do this. You know what I'm saying?
Like, he had a super successful Kickstarter and now he's on HBO. Like, even if he just had a okay selling children's book, that's a super successful story. Yep. But for that story to touch as many people and to win an Oscar and now to become a regular series, how many people get to do that with any type of property? Like, for real. If we could have, like, look, if I could grant that to, like, say, the Tuskegee Heirs and have their comic book immediately become an animated series, you know how happy I'd be? That don't happen for everybody.
Nope.
So that's just my take on it, and why it had me looking at it sideways. Like, okay, yeah, this is foolishness.
But I'm glad we all got on code, y'all. So that's the news. So y'all can be happy. Before we get out of here, Key, Mark, say peace.
Peace. And yes, I'm gonna say one thing. Just again, thank you for having us on. We are Blerdish at www.blerd-ish.com. That's www.blerdish.com. We just recently did the Mid-City Microcon. Go back and watch it. Speaking of indie creators, check these people out. We got creators of colors that came through. All type of people, black creators, Latino creators, all type of people, and content creators. It was a wonderful time. It was a 7-hour marathon. You popped up through the chat. And shout out to AfroCon. Might be working with them on something too. Shout out to those who just doing all these virtual cons and, man, trying to lift our spirits and put out dope content and hope they don't get stolen, every day.
Yeah. Because people, man, if you out there making dope stuff, somebody is watching.
Man, they got a magnifying glass like Sherlock Holmes on your tail, man.
Bruh, you ain't never lied. So, of course, NERDSoul, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all them places. You know what I'm saying? Spotify for that music. Podcast if you rather listen than look. But hit that thumbs up. If you hit that thumbs down, I'm going to send Nick Jr. after you. And they going to copy everything you do. Right?
Nah, we're going to send Matthew Cherry's lawyers after you.
Oh, yeah, and they're going to shut you down.
Shut them down, man. Shut them down.
So, of course, thank y'all for watching. And from us to you, we're just saying peace.
Peace.